There we go. All right. So welcome, guys. Today we have a great real estate agent and also YouTuber, Stefanie Kebede, and I'm really excited to have her on. Thank you again for hopping on. If you guys haven't done so already, definitely subscribe to my channel. Today we're going to be talking all about Stefanie and hearing her side of things with real estate and YouTube, and I'm really excited to dive in. So to you, Stefanie, the first question is, who are you? Where are you from? And just give us a background of everything.
Yeah, so first I want to say thank you for having me on your channel here. But yeah, my name is Stefanie Kebede. I'm here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I got my real estate license when I was 20. So last year, I am now 21. And, my story, I guess, would be I went to college, but I felt that college wasn't the path God wanted me to take. So after being there for a year and a half, I told my parents that I wanted to drop out. And that was the toughest decision, I had to make, but went with it, was working two full-time jobs during, one full-time job during the week and then a part-time job on the weekend. So 7 days a week, doing that, working on drop shipping, and then real estate came to mind. So that's where I'm at now, and I'm loving it.
Wow. So you dropped out of college. Now that is a huge step to take. It's funny because Josh, I was just talking to him and he said the same thing. Like, so my question is going to be the same to you. How did you have that conversation with your parents, and like, what made you feel as though like college wasn't for you?
Right. So, like I said, I had those online businesses going for me. So I would sit in class and I'm like, why am I in a music class when like I'm trying to pursue other things? Like college, they make you take these electives that don't even apply towards your major. So that was one thing. And then also kind of like listening to the professor speak when like they didn't even own business. Like why am I even in here? I want to do something that someone already is doing what I'm trying to do. So learn from them, have a mentor, trainer, stuff like that. So that was like the peak of it. And literally it would eat me up each and every day of me just holding it in. So, the one night I was just brushing my teeth and then just told my mom, I was like, you know what? College isn't for me. I'm leaving. Wow. And man, she started crying. It was like crazy because I know it was crazy, but I think she took it a lot worse than my dad took it. But those two, next months after it was pretty tough, like rocky, but God got me through it.
Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, I mean that's pretty hard news to break to your parents, especially when they believe in the higher education system, and which is fine, but it just doesn't work for like anybody and everybody. You get what I'm saying? So I guess to go in with that a little bit, what is your take on college? Because I'm sure you have people hit you up all the time like, hey, should I drop out? Or like, should I go to college? Because you're really young. So like, they're in this transitional phase of should they go to college after they graduate or do something else? So like, what's your advice?
So it definitely depends on what you want to do. Like everyone knows, if you want to be a lawyer, doctor, etc., then yeah, you definitely have to go to college. But if you want to own your own business, be an entrepreneur, you don't. Like there's YouTube University, so much different courses online that you can take where, if you want to go to college for business, that could be $30,000 in student loan debt. When if you decide to take a YouTube course, that could be $300 to $1,000. So it's like, it depends. Like when people ask me that, I'm like, it's really up to you. Like for me, I think about like college is always there. If I truly do want to go back to college, I could just go back to college right now, but that's just not God's plan for me. So it's up to you. I prayed about it because that is a huge decision. So I prayed about it, was really, thinking about it, like, is this the next step? Because that is tough. Mm-hmm. But like it depends on what you want to do first and foremost, and that's what I would say. But college is always going to be that at the end of the day.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I'm pretty biased. Even though I went to college, I still don't believe for the vast majority of people that it's like, I don't think it's that beneficial. Like I think my best takeaway from going to college was networking. And also I went because I was playing basketball, so it was just like, I was really focused on basketball.
So me too, because I was gonna go to play basketball, but then it just wasn't in the works. So I don't.
Yeah, no, it's a tough decision, but yeah, unless you're like really going to be like, I don't know, something like a doctor or a lawyer, like something very specific to where you have to go to college, I don't really think it's necessary, but to each their own. I'm not trying to sway anybody either way, but it's just,
Yeah.
I feel like it's just such a huge amount of money that you're taking out to go in debt for, and kind of, how do you say, like, just not, it's not a guaranteed path, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather take that much debt out and risk on a business.
Yeah, people say like, yeah, I'm gonna go to college, get a good job, but like when you go to college, you come out, you're not guaranteed a job, which
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people realize, which is crazy. You're not guaranteed, so
yeah,
you don't have any security, you
yeah,
know.
exactly. I think people are starting to realize it, but like they still may not be making the switch. But I mean, there's so many different ways to make money. So like you said, you were trying drop shipping, was it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did that go? What was your experience with that?
So in the beginning, like every business you start up, it's super tough. But I did a lot of research within like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all that stuff, and it was fun. You know, I love it. I still miss it to this day. But when I was doing those businesses, I had like the wrong mindset. And as entrepreneurs, business owners, a lot of us know that mindset is everything. But with me having that wrong, like kind of money mindset, I guess you would say, like I'm about to make so much money off of this. That just kind of geared me in the wrong path. And, you know, like I said, I'm a Christian, so I kept reading my Bible more, diving deeper into the word. And God was kind of steering me away from that, which I'm glad because now I'm in real estate today. But it's a great way to make some money as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think when it comes to entrepreneurship, it takes a lot of trial and error. Like you have to figure out, what you're kind of good at and what you're good at, and also what you're willing to like, withstand the challenges for. Because, when it comes to like a lot of successful entrepreneurs, it usually takes several different tries in different lanes. You know what I mean? Like for me, I tried so many different things before I got into real estate. I tried MLM. I did have an e-commerce store. I was doing digital marketing for other companies. Like I was doing a bunch of different things. And then I came across real estate and things just started clicking. But
Right.
like both of us, we've gotten to, we're starting to see more and more success in real estate because of all these things that we've tried. Those trial and errors add up to like where we are today. So I guess what would you say, because there's a lot of people that jump into being an entrepreneur and think that it just, you just take off. Like what would you say you learned from like your challenges doing drop shipping or whatever else that you were doing before real estate?
I would say that you just need a lot of faith. Like for me, just knowing that like, okay, I gotta do this, but like I'm not even seeing results in the beginning, especially. It could be like discouraging, but knowing that like God didn't get me this far to only get me this far, that just continued to push me. And like with me, like for me, it took me 9 months to get my first real estate deal. And people ask me like, how did you stay so content? How did you keep pushing? So that's what I tell them, like God didn't get me this far to only just take me here. Like there's so much more to it. And I feel like it took me so much longer just to be able to inspire others that like, if it takes you this long, don't get discouraged. Just keep on pushing and, he'll make it happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's funny because you actually, I think that was the video that you made that like caught my attention on your channel. It was like how much I made in my first like year or something. So it was one of those videos, or your first like 6 months or something, and it was like $0. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, like it reeled me in, and it was good. I think it's really important to like those type of videos is good to make because you're being transparent, and that's what really attracts people to your channel. Like I'm like, okay, like that's cool. Like she didn't make any money, but she's honest about that, and I'm sure at some point she will. So I'm gonna actually subscribe and watch her journey. Like, have you noticed that with YouTube? It's like, the more you're transparent, the more people kind of like gravitate to you.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So now that we're on the topic of YouTube, I love talking about YouTube. So my question is, what made you actually jump on YouTube as a real estate agent?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this about me, but I already been on YouTube before I got into real estate. So I had a channel that had 12,000, still does, 12,000 subscribers. And I would just post like family content, pranks, challenges, stuff like that. And, watching a lot of YouTube before I even got into real estate, doing a lot of research of like, what's it like a day in the life as a real estate agent, kind of different lead generation strategies to do. And I just figured that like it'd be great to share my experience and kind of document my journey, because it could help a lot of other people out that's looking to come into the business. But it's also nice for me to look back of like how far I came, you know, throughout the business as well.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. I think when it comes to the great thing about YouTube is that you're able to help others as well as help yourself and see your transformation over the years. Like I even look back at some of my YouTube videos and I'm like, wow, like I look different, I act different, my energy is different. Like my YouTube channel started out when I was playing basketball over in Spain, and I started making like
Oh, wow.
vegan recipe videos and like just showing my lifestyle a little bit out in Spain. And it was just like to see where I was at there back in like 2015, where I'm at now is like crazy. But yeah, like it's really cool to just document your journey. And I follow like what Gary Vee, I used to follow a lot of what he was saying before, but he always talks about instead of like trying to, you know, put all this information out or whatever the case is, it's better to just document your journey and show people what you're doing. So that's what I really love about YouTube. So I guess my question is, what was the catalyst for your YouTube channel to start kind of taking off? Because you're at about what, over 5,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah, getting close to 6, so we're almost there.
Getting close to 6. So yeah, what has been like the catalyst that has taken you to that level and continuing to help you grow?
I would just say making content that like a lot of new agents need, but also, you know, giving back, explaining like what's been working for me as an agent, and then being consistent as well. You know, before I would post like, you know, literally 5 days in a week. Now it's kind of slowed down because I got more busy, so I post at least once a week. But you know, staying consistent within that beginning time period just to help that momentum.
Gotcha. Yeah, consistency is absolutely key. Just to backtrack really quick, talk a little bit more about real estate. We're both young Black professionals, right? Young Black women. How would you say your experience has been? Because I get this question, people ask me this a lot, so I want to ask you, how has your experience been being a young Black professional in real estate, a young Black female professional in real estate?
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be different for everyone going into it, I guess, depending on like your location as well. But for me, it hasn't been too bad, I would say. You know, there are some times where some people may not want to talk to you just because of your, you know, skin color, but you just gotta brush that over and just move on to the next. You know, don't have that one person bring you down because there's so many other people that want to work with you. So there's minor things that pop up, but like it's not, I haven't had anything major.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the same has kind of been in my experience. There's been like people that actually want to work with me because I'm a Black young professional, you know what I mean? And they want to, like the older Black folk, they want to like see you get business and help you come up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't had like a bad experience in that regard. I have had one experience to where like, it was funny. I was actually helping my brother qualify for an apartment, and their standards were like a 650 credit score, you know, 3 times the rent and no evictions. And his was like, you know, he has like an 800 credit score. He makes like 6 times the rent. He was just finding some place for the meantime. And they were asking for like a cosigner. I'm like, he literally meets all your standards. What's the problem?
Yeah.
And specifically with this management company, this is the second time it happened. The first time it happened, I was like, you know what? I don't want to pull the Black card right away, but I'm gonna see how this goes. And then the second time it happened with my brother as a client, I was just like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah,
both clients were Black, you know what I mean? I'm just like, you know, but yeah, very minor. Like it hasn't been anything too crazy, which is good because, you know, you don't want to deal with that. But, you know, I'm also in Philly too. And most of the Black population is funny. Most of the Black population is Black.
yeah.
But I came from Jersey, South Jersey in particular, where my city, Cherry Hill, it was like 75% white. So I had a very different upbringing.
Did you have your license over there too?
No, I'm only licensed in PA because I moved to Philly last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but it was two very different audiences. So it was really my experience.
Location is huge too.
Yes, it's huge. And you saw even like when I posted on your channel about how like my licensing fees are completely different. Like my what do you call it? My association dues are like $600-700, and yours are like different. So location definitely plays a part of it. But let me stop talking about myself. It's all about you. So you're in Harrisburg. So like, what is in Harrisburg, PA?
I've been thinking about coming to Philly.
It's better than Harrisburg.
We got the Capitol. But I would just say, you know, Harrisburg, it's a great location, to be honest. There's not a whole lot to do, but like in regards to like if you are one that likes to get on the road a lot, like you're only 4 hours from Pittsburgh, 2 hours from Philly. Hershey, if you want to go to Hershey Park, literally the amusement park is like 15-minute drive away. So like you're kind of close to everything. That's why a lot of people move to Harrisburg. And I would say like our midtown area, the city part is kind of, you know, picking up a lot of more, you know, stores are coming in there, small shops, mom and pop shops. So I would say it's slowly picking up, but a lot of people are actually coming over here.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, like I've never been to Harrisburg. I've never really been to too many other parts outside of Philly because it's like when people think about Philly, they think of like Philly's the whole capital, like the whole state. They think Philly's a whole separate state. So I'm just like, okay. But it's interesting. So let's talk about my question for you. I pay attention to YouTube a lot, right? Because I really like the videos you made. Now, you're welcome. So being a real estate agent is very different from like, I guess the opportunities, or like we use YouTube as a way to kind of combine our opportunities, right? So like you actually recently made a video of, I think it was your 4 streams of income at 21. Yeah. So let's talk about that. Like, let's talk, we know how we generate money as a real estate agent, but what are you doing right now? What are your 4 streams of income that you mentioned?
Yeah, so number 1, that's real estate commission, and it's not guaranteed. So, you know, you got to have some other streams. The second one is definitely YouTube. So been pretty consistent with that, making around at least $500 now a month. It's crazy because like I'm only posting once a week and still being able to maintain 500. So that's been slowly growing to hopefully we'll get to 1,000. But I also do like dog walking, dog sitting whenever I'm available. If someone asks me, I'm like, you know, it's just easy money just to do that. Okay. And then affiliate marketing. I do a lot of affiliate marketing. So like you can see in my description, I may like talk about the CE shop, or I may talk about, you know, other companies' prop streams. So I'm an affiliate with them. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I actually use the company. Like, I don't like promoting things that I don't use. So whenever I say like, hey, click the link below, they click it, and then you just get a small percentage of that. Right. So, you know, make money that way as well. And I think that was 4. I think that was 4. Yeah. That
was 4. So yeah, affiliate marketing is definitely one of my favorite ways to make money too. Actually, one of my most viewed videos is about when I was cold calling and I was using a specific dialer, batch dialer. And it's funny because I don't like promoting products that I don't use either, because you want to definitely, you know, it comes back on you if it's not really a good product because you referred it. Right. I referred this dialer, and I still do think it's the best dialer to use. But I actually don't use it anymore, but my affiliate commissions still come in because the video is like still relevant. Right. But the only reason why I don't use it anymore is because I'm getting so much traffic from YouTube. So I don't have to continue to cold call, but I'm still in talks with, I work with wholesalers all the time who literally use this product. So that's why I'm still okay with having it up. And of course it's generating some money. So if it's still, in my mind, ethical, and it's still a product that is producing results and it's good for you, yeah, I'll keep it up, you know what I mean? But affiliate marketing is definitely a great way to make money. So I guess out of your 4, which would be your favorite?
Oh, that's a good question. YouTube takes some time. I don't like editing so much. Some days I do, some days I don't. So I want to hire an editor later down the road. I would say affiliate marketing probably the best, just because you don't really have to do anything. Yeah. You know, it's kind of just like, it's not passive. It is passive, but like,
it's more passive than the others, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, because like you never know how much you're gonna make. But as your channel grows, the affiliate marketing is gonna grow as well, you know. So I would say affiliate marketing.
Yeah, I agree. So with that, I guess when it comes to time, right? Like you mentioned, like editing, it may not be your favorite thing to do because it takes a lot of time, like, which is why I don't, and I told you guys in the group, I was like, I don't edit my videos. Only way I'm able to do it is to just hire some people, use other people that, you know, edit my videos. But, you know, being on YouTube, being a real estate agent, you know, dog walking, everything that you're doing, how are you able to manage your time in a way that still allows you to have a social life?
Yeah, so I actually changed my schedule around. A lot of the time I do change it. But now I like wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I go to the gym, and I know, yeah, I really had to train my like brain, my mind, just to be able to do that. But I go to the gym, you know, come home, take a shower, eat. So like time blocking is great, and I'm still working on it. You know, like I'm not perfect. I still have to work out my schedule. Some days I just don't feel as productive as others, but just being able to time block, like, hey, this is the time I'm going to focus on creating content. This is the time I got to add in for showings, for buyer consultations, for meetings, stuff like that. Just having that set schedule in. And I also have a to-do list I work on every single morning. I make sure to fill it out at night, just so I'm prepared for the next morning. So that seems to be really helping.
Gotcha. So you kind of have like we have a daily routine, but you have also have like a morning routine where you go to the gym and everything like that. Can you break that down?
Yeah, so my morning routine, I would say 4:30 a.m. I actually made a day in the life so you guys can see, but morning routine 4:30 a.m. Between 4:30 a.m. and then 5, that's when I like read my Bible, just study that. And then from 5 to 5:30, I'm driving off to the gym. 5:30 to 6:30, I'm at the gym. Come home, you know, around 7, take a shower, eat, probably 8 o'clock or so. Come on my laptop, answer emails, go over anything. And then sometimes it depends. Sometimes I'll go right on my phone to start coming up with like content ideas. Sometimes I won't. Each day is different as a real estate agent. You know, some days you have early morning showings, some days you have evening showings. I may have someone that can only have a buyer consultation in the morning, or they want to meet in the afternoon. So it's going to be different each time, but having that set morning routine, it helps me keeps me like prepared, ready for the day.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I have a similar routine that actually kind of got knocked off when I got COVID. I was like, you know, you got to take some time off or whatever, and I haven't been able to get back to waking up as early as 4:30. I was waking up at like between 5 and 5:15.
That's still good though. That's still really good.
Yeah. The point, I try to get to the point where I'm sitting down in my chair, like starting work at around 8, 9 at the latest. You know what I mean? But having a morning routine is really, really important. I actually learned how to structure my morning by reading a book called Miracle Morning, and I think they even have.
I read that.
Yeah, that book is really, really good. Like it kind of just incentivizes you to take advantage of every little bit of your morning, even if you have a 15-minute morning routine. But it's like really important to just center yourself before you get into like the world every single day, because if you just wake up and like your day kind of just repeats itself if you don't take time to like, you know, just center yourself. So having a routine is very, very essential. So I guess my question, what would you say is like the most your most favorite part about being a real estate agent and your least favorite part about being a real estate agent?
My favorite, you probably hear my dogs in the background, but my favorite is creating content. Like the other day I went to a new construction home, did some video content. So I would say that is definitely my favorite, making TikToks around that. And being able to help other people, you know, like having the knowledge now, like I still have so much to learn, but being able to share with other people, new agents coming on board. Least favorite, I would say,
Gotta keep it real for the audience.
Well, this business, you know, money isn't guaranteed. So like you can go months without getting paid. That's tough. And then that's all I can think of right now. And then sometimes I guess with like buyers, sometimes like you have to work around their schedule. So as a real estate agent, your schedule is flexible, but like they're like your boss.
Yeah. You have to, the point is for you to satisfy your clients. So of course you have to like be willing to work around their schedule and work with them.
Right.
And it's funny because that's actually what I'm dealing with now. I'm actually at a stage where I kind of want my content, kind of want to be like a content entrepreneur, a YouTube entrepreneur, but I'm using real estate to fuel that. And that's always been my passion. Well, it's been my passion for some time now, but dealing with buyers, because I just attract so many buyers using my YouTube, I've gotten like an influx of leads. And first I started like referring all these leads out, but then I'm like, okay, I don't really know how these agents work. I'm just kind of trusting that they can do it. So I still want to keep some of that income in and have me close the deals. But what I'm going to be doing is using a showing agent. So I don't have to actually show the property.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to have a guy on next week. His name is Chris Bello. But he basically has this model. I mean, it's not a new model, but I just heard it from him first. But it's basically just utilizing a showing agent, you know, paying them X amount of dollars to go show these properties, and you just deal with the negotiations, the contracts, and everything like that. You don't have to actually leave, you know?
Yeah.
So
Those drives, you just driving all day back and
all
forth.
day. Like I have shows tonight. I gotta go show four houses. That's like almost my whole evening. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why being an agent is just like it's day and night. And if you don't like really learn to like discipline yourself with the time blocking and just like not willing to take like clients after a certain time, you're gonna go crazy if you just allow your clients to run your life. Like
I know. I had a buyer texting me at like 10 o'clock.
yeah,
like, why do we need to talk at 10? What's so important that we need to
exactly.
talk? You know?
Like what's so important that I can't get back to you at 9 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So having that, yeah. But do you actually see yourself like what's more of like your longer term plan with real estate? Do you plan on building a team? Like how do you kind of plan on, in what direction are you looking to grow?
Well, with like, since I'm with EXP, I plan on like growing my downline and being able to help like new agents coming on board, even experienced agents if they want to join as well. So having that grow, and then as well as like social media, having that grow as well. Cause like real estate, being an agent is fun and all, but like, it's like as an agent, you're there to like make a living. But when you start investing in real estate, I saw this quote. It's like real estate agents make a living, but investing in real estate is like a fortune. You can make a fortune. Absolutely. So like I really want to start investing. I did do wholesaling previously, but now I'm just focused on being an agent and you know, trying to get some rental properties, get that going, house hack as well. So I'm excited to see where that goes, as well as like the YouTube channel, TikTok, hopefully get some more sponsorships going and just grow everything together basically.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Sponsorships. So you've got some sponsorships so far?
I got one so far.
Oh, congrats. That's cool. Listen, I know sponsorships can bring in a good amount of money. So that's really good. I wanted to ask, what got you, how did you come across wholesaling?
So it was a while ago, I think like 3 years ago. My mom went to this event, this real estate event. It was like at a hotel seminar or whatever. And she was like, you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I want to go. Let's, you know, learn something about real estate. So I went. They talked about it briefly. I came back home, did some more research. I saw Kong. Is his name Kong? Something.
King Kong.
Yeah. Let's go get this money.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I saw his YouTube. Literally binge watched almost all his videos. So like kind of YouTube University, that got me into it. But I would wholesale on and off like throughout the year. And then this past year, I was really, you know, heavy into it, cold calling every single day. Got a lot of appointments, and then ending up losing like $500 last minute because we were supposed to close on this deal, but the buyer wanted to back out the day before closing. Ooh. So I know it was tough. It was tough. I was gonna make like 4,000 from that, but I felt like God was just like saying, okay, you had your fair share with this. It's time to just focus on being an agent since it was so conflicting. But yeah, so that's how I got into wholesaling.
Wait, so how did you lose the money? Was it earnest money that you put up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
I typically did 100 like for the past deals, because I had a couple under contract, but just couldn't find an end buyer for it. Typically do 100, but this lady was so stubborn and.
I gotcha. What was I gonna say? So one thing that I've learned is I've learned this from like different wholesale mentors, but it's important to like get the earnest money actually from the buyer, have them kind of put it up. But there's a whole way to go into that, and it's just
there's so much. Yeah, there's so much to go into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. I literally got a deal under contract, a wholesale deal under contract yesterday. And this lady
That's
was like,
awesome.
yeah, she was like, yeah, can you put down 5,000 money in earnest money? I'm like, no. I was like, your house is where it's a $76,000 deal. And I'm
Yeah,
like, typically people only put down 1%. We don't even put down that much. We usually put down like $100, like you said.
right.
So I'm like, it just doesn't make sense for us to put that much money down, and it's not going to close like right away because she needed to stay in the house until like February. I'm like, we're not going to hold up $5,000 for 3 months. You know how many other houses we could buy with that? I didn't say it like that.
I say like we don't want our money tied up in this one property since we do look forward to, purchasing other proproperties.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
she was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, okay, but that's supposed to be a quick 5K deal. But she emailed me right like after she signed the contract, a couple hours later, she emailed me like, hey, I got a higher offer. And I'm like, are you serious? You just told me like she wanted to work with me because she wanted a Black person to buy it and this, that, and third. And now like she got a higher offer and that kind of just went out the window. I was like, are you serious? Like, but I'm not gonna hold her up. I've had other deals that have kind of like, where they want to back out. And like this other deal, this one lady, she backed out like a week before closing. I was like, oh no, we're closing this deal. Like we got an attorney involved. We got an attorney involved. We literally had to pay him like $600 to send out two emails to the seller saying like, hey, you signed this. We have to execute the contract. If you want to release yourself, you have to pay X, whatever. But anyway, it's not all glitz and glam.
It's a whole different.
Oh no, you froze a little bit. Say that one more time.
I said it's a whole different ball game wholesaling.
Yes, it is. I kind of look at wholesaling as like you can make more money wholesaling, but you typically get more leads with being a real estate agent. In my experience, like you get more quantity being an agent, you get more like quality in terms of money being a wholesaler.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah, like but if you know how to combine the two, like you can be well off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said that you mentioned like you're building your downline in EXP, which is like, sponsoring other agents into the business. How have you been able to help them? Like, do you like help them get on YouTube? Do you help them with their social media? What's your thing with that?
Yeah, so if they do decide to join under me, they have direct access to me. They have direct access to my sponsor, Ricky Caruth. I have this whole like game plan set out. So like if it's a new agent coming on board, they don't know anything about the business. I have like prospecting methods they can do. I have all these videos that they can watch. They get literally everything that I use for my business, whether that's my home buyer guide, my listing guide, questions to ask buyers, questions to ask sellers, and like so much more. So everything's all organized just so it's easier to see, because I know like coming on board as a new agent, it can be so overwhelming. So yeah, I just try to make it easier. And with what I went through, going to Century 21 first, not learning anything, going to Berkshire, getting that right training, and then coming to EXP, I kind of know, I would say, a good amount of things that like I wouldn't want a new agent coming on board making those same mistakes that I did, coming into it.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. I've only been with EXP. I haven't gone to any other brokerages. I started out with EXP. I was gonna start out at Keller, but I don't know. I just saw the opportunity at EXP, and I was just like, I'm just gonna run with it. Like, you know what I mean? What's the worst what could happen? I could switch back into the other brokerage. Like, it's so easy for agents to switch from one brokerage to another. But if you could figure out the brokerage that makes sense for you in that time being, then that's the one you got to choose. So another question, why do you feel like agents should get on YouTube? I love talking about YouTube. So why do you think agents should leverage YouTube to build their business?
Yeah, so you start a YouTube channel and you start having potential clients, see that, they kind of feel like they already know you because they see you from video. So I think that's huge. You really want to attract people that already see you, because it's so much easier to work with. They kind of already know you. They feel like they're going to trust you because they see you and they connect with you, and they most likely will like you already. So it's like you're not competing with other agents. So I would say that's like the main thing. Like once they already see your channel, see how much you're putting in the work to be able to post every single week, or every other day, something like that, they know that you're a hard worker and they attract to that.
Have you had any like interesting experiences that came from people finding you on YouTube? Like for me, I've had somebody call me and they're like, oh my God, I didn't think you'd pick up. I'm like, why not? I'm still a human.
They think you're like a celebrity, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually get it a lot from TikTok too. They're
Mm.
like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe it. I'm and it's so crazy. I start laughing.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's like you do hear about how like YouTube you can build brand authority and be like the local authority in your market, but like when it actually starts to happen, you're like, oh wow, like people really do like look at me in this way because it's almost like you're like you're a celebrity. Like it's really funny. Um, so yeah, I guess when it comes to YouTube, so do you feel as though? Oh, let me ask you this: what's your main source of lead generation? Like, what do you do most to generate the most leads?
So it's social media for sure. So out of those different platforms, I would say Facebook's number one.
Really? Okay. So how do you leverage Facebook?
Yeah, so just literally posting about, new construction homes. I would say I just posted one yesterday or 2 days ago, got a lead off of that, had a buyer consultation for that yesterday. So posting new construction homes, um, posting things that a lot of people can relate to, that will help, people engage. Once they start engaging, then more other people will see your page as well. And I love Facebook just because it's an older audience. So they're most likely going to have money to, purchase a home or want to sell their home. But yeah, I think not a lot of people leverages Facebook. That's why it helps me because
Yeah.
I don't have much competition within my area because I do a lot of video content, post that video content on Facebook, do a lot of marketing on Facebook. So I think that helps. And I just want to say that I don't do any paid advertisements at all, whether it's through
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I don't do any of that.
Gotcha. Do you have like, do you post on Facebook groups? Do you have your own group, your own page? Like, how do you kind of do it? Like, how do you use Facebook in that way?
So me and Josh, we have our own like a new agent Facebook group. But in regards to like generating leads, I just post on my page or my business page.
Okay, gotcha. What's up? What's up with the new agent group? Why did you guys create that? What do you guys post in there?
Yeah, so that's just a group for, support and being able to network with others. Great to send out referrals as well within that group. We just decided to create that. We thought like with our channels kind of combining and a lot of people asking us questions, getting the same questions, it would just be great to, create a group. And for the people, asking the same questions, it's easier for us to answer it that way. And just being able to, like I said, support one another and network as well.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, that makes sense. Yeah, a lot of agents definitely they need direction, right? Like we all need direction, and if we can shortcut it by speaking with somebody who's already been there and who's already doing it, that's definitely that'll shorten the learning curve. So, any new agents out there, if you guys are interested, check out their Facebook group. What's the name of the group?
It's why can't I think of it right now? New networking and support.
Okay, it's all good. I'll include it in the description below for everybody. So that's really cool. That's good that you're able to collaborate with other agents and kind of get things moving. So another question when it comes to YouTube, right? We know YouTube takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So how do you now we talked about managing time, but how do you kind of time block your time for just like content creation? Like what are your when you're going to create content, like what does your workflow look like?
Yeah, so for me, I don't like script out my whole videos. Like I'll have the title written out already so I know what I want to talk about and then I'll have bullet points and then I just free ball. I just start talking. So I know like that's why editing may take a little bit longer for me because like I'm doing more cuts and stuff like that. But like my upfront stuff for YouTube, it's pretty easy. And typically I'll record on Saturday mornings just because it's easier. I like recording in the morning. My brain's just like relaxed, refreshed. But like it depends. If I have some free time during the week, then I'll just record, get it out the way, edit either Saturday or Sunday, and then upload Monday by 4:30 p.m.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can't edit. I can't do it. Like like I know how to edit because I used to do videography, but like just to sit there and edit for like hours it can just take up so much time. And then like you have buyers and sellers calling you, like it's hard to manage both. But if you can, you definitely should. But I'll just pay somebody to do it.
I'm going to in the future. Right now, it just saves money, I would say, and yeah, definitely something to look forward to in the future. I can't wait so I can
Yeah. Yeah.
pass that on.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. So one thing you also did mention is investing, right? So you want to get into like, do you want to get into like fix and flips or buy and holds, Airbnbs? Like what exactly in the investing world do you want to get into?
Man, I'm trying to get into everything. But I would say at first, like I want a house hack. So like get maybe a 4-unit, live in one, rent out the rest, kind of live for free. But also want to build up my rental portfolio. So I was, telling myself I do want like 30 by 30. So 30 rentals before I'm 30, since I'm 21 right now.
Yeah.
And then, maybe do some flips here and there. I know my mom, she would help my grandfather with some flips. So like she already loves, that aspect of things. So being able to, do a couple here and there, see how I like it, and then go from there. But kind of get my hands on everything, see what works for me. Definitely, get some Airbnbs and some great locations. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a great way to go about it. If you can have family help you in a way that makes sense, then it could definitely work. I actually started out wholesaling with my brother. He kind of got a little distracted with some other things. Like now he does like all stock options, which it works out for him perfectly. But
Stock options, man. I did that once too.
Oh yeah.
I'm so scared. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, he's up a good amount of money, but yeah, I mean, anything is risk versus reward, so you got to evaluate that. So this is definitely not any financial advice.
No, not at all, not at all.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good. So what's your long-term play or what's your long-term plan when it comes to real estate or just like your career in general?
Yeah, so I would say, like I was talking about, like 30 by 30.
Yeah.
So I would say so like my 10-year plan kind of.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, 10 years, have 30 rental properties. I'm believing that I should be a millionaire by 30, so have that.
Like that.
Yeah. So G-Wagon, a Tesla Model X, I believe that's the one with the doors going up.
Yeah, I think so.
X, and probably married by then too, with a kid or two, something like that. So yeah. I be talking about it, but like,
It's
yeah.
not that crazy. It's not that crazy because I mean, if you believe and you put the work in, it's very doable. Like very.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. You sound like me when I was. I was like, okay, I want to be like a millionaire and I want to be married by 30, like 28, 30 years old. I'll definitely have everything together. And it could definitely happen. I'm 28 now, so I don't have all that. But I'm getting. Yeah, I'm 28. So like people think
not like 28.
I know. How old do I look?
You look like you're 22 or 23. Yeah, you do not look 28.
I get that literally all the time. Like when I go out, always get carded. Everybody thinks I'm like 20 or 21. I'm just like, I'm actually 28. I'm borderline 30 and
You do not look at all.
Well, hopefully it kind of stays that way. So then when I do get older, it's better. But right now it's kind of like, you look so young. Guys are like, are you really this old? But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's good to definitely shoot for those high goals because at the very least, if you don't reach it, you're a lot closer than you would be if you shot for like, lower goals.
Right.
But that's great. I think that's those are good goals to achieve. So another question that I have for you is kind of just a general question. What is your superpower?
I would say video content.
Okay.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Maybe because I've been doing it for so long and I can be bold when I need to be. If I don't need to be, then I'm cool. Like I'm naturally, I would say, an introvert. Like I like my peace and quiet. I like just, chilling, but I can also be an extrovert, go out in public, go right up to people, say, hey, my name is Stefanie, and kind of definitely say video content and just being bold when I need to be.
That is a good superpower, especially in the year of 2021 going into 2022. I think anybody who hops on video has the upper hand. Like, would you agree?
Oh yeah, that's where this, this generation is going towards, video and TikTok for sure. TikTok and Instagram Reels.
Yeah, so you did a presentation on like, I don't know if it was just social media or if it was just TikTok, but it was like you did some type of presentation, right?
Yeah, like a public speaking
Public
event.
speaking, yeah.
Yeah, so I had that. It was at an investor group meetup, a big one in Central PA here. And that was basically, just talking about my story and how I was able to, become a real estate agent, plus also grow my, social media account as well. And then, talking about TikTok.
Right. So what is your, I mean, I know you leverage Facebook the most, but what's your favorite platform to actually use?
I would say TikTok. Just
Yeah.
because it's so easy to go viral for that. YouTube is nice because it pays better than TikTok. Because I forgot to say, TikTok is another stream of income, but it's not as much. Like you literally get a couple cents per day.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally just let that money sit. I don't even touch it. But TikTok is great because you can go viral overnight.
Yes. Yes. I agree. TikTok is very viral. Like they try to push, like your videos are being pushed to people that don't even follow you. And
Right.
they're doing the same thing on Instagram and the same thing on YouTube with YouTube Shorts. So it's funny because my workflow really quick is I create my videos on TikTok and then I just repost them to Instagram and YouTube. And
Yeah.
some videos will like hit on Instagram, like I'll get like 150 likes. Like to me, like that's like a lot. And
I
then
know that's a lot. Yeah.
yeah, and then like I'll post it on YouTube and I may get 60 views versus like if I post a video on Instagram, it might get 20 likes and then I get like 3,000 views on Instagram on YouTube. And I'm like, man, like it's so interesting to see the different platforms and like
Yeah.
all the results you get. Like I don't know what it is, but on my YouTube shorts, I'm getting most of my traffic now from my YouTube shorts videos. It's like 60%. Yeah, it's like 60% of my traffic comes from YouTube shorts. So it's like I just try to, create my videos on TikTok and post it everywhere now. You don't want to post it with the TikTok logo, but you know, just repurposing those videos on all these platforms is like it's so beneficial, you know what I mean?
And it saves time. So like you don't have to create a whole nother video too.
Right, exactly. But you got to learn to like really understand the little intricacies of every platform. And that's why like it's kind of hard when the agents ask me like, what platform should they get started on, or like what's the best platform? And I'm just like, whichever one you're gonna be most consistent on, you know. So like I guess that's a question for you. Like, what's your recommendation when people ask you how to get started on social media or what they should do?
I would say you should just hop on Facebook. I know when I got into the business, I had the trainer there. They asked me like, how many friends do you have on Facebook? I was like, only 40, because like who goes on Facebook, you know?
Wow.
And she was like, you got to get more friends. So I took that into consideration, started adding people I don't even know, but made sure that they were within my area. And before you know, I had like close to 5,000 friends. Since 5,000 is the max on Facebook, and that's, once I made my post that I'm a real estate agent, it got over 800 likes. So the engagement was huge.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. So like Facebook is great because you can really connect with your local community. TikTok, you're going to connect with people all throughout the world, So I would say just getting started, I would focus on Facebook, focus on Facebook, add people within your area, and just start making posts on there.
That's good advice. That's good advice. Now that you mentioned Facebook so much, I just thought about like how it's kind of transitioning into like the meta universe or whatever it is. And it's kind of interesting because EXP kind of has a little bit of a platform like that where we have the EXP world. It's like a virtual campus for those of you who aren't in EXP. It's like this big virtual campus where people can go connect. If you need help, you talk to support, we attend meetings. They have like leisure activity, like they have like basketball courts and boat rides and everything like that. It's like this own little virtual universe, right? And like Facebook is doing like the same thing, but I'm sure Facebook is taking it to like a whole another level. They said like it's gonna be like a lifestyle type of thing. So like where do you think things are headed in that like regard? Like yeah, like where do you think things are headed?
Wait, say you kind of froze for a bit. What was that again?
I said, where do you think things are headed when it comes to like just the virtual reality or virtual world in that sense?
Um, that's a good question because like it's crazy how fast like the world is changing. So with this metaverse, I'm not really sure like how things are going to play out, but like I make sure like as things are changing, I learn to adapt with it, because that's the number one thing we need to do as agents, adapt and grow our platforms off of that. So like whatever is next for the world with this metaverse, just like I don't know much about it, so it's like hard to say. I don't know too much about it. Yeah, so
I got you. No, it's perfectly fine. I just like to, like you said, I like to stay on top of trends. I like to stay on top of like what's going on in the world. But like,
yeah.
there's so much between the metaverse. I mean, you got Bitcoin, you got cryptocurrencies, you got NFTs.
So much stuff.
It's so much stuff. Like, it's like, where do I start? Where do I like how do I change? But that's also what I like about EXP, because they actually were teaching a class about how to purchase properties or just real estate, utilizing Bitcoin. And I was like, oh, this is like really, really cool. You know what I mean? Like,
crazy. It's crazy like what this world's coming to.
Yeah, I think at some point, everything will totally be online. And that's kind of scary. I definitely want to be able to sell people houses online. Like, I'm cool with that. It happens a lot more in the investment world, where like they don't necessarily need to be inside the house to understand like what they need to do to buy it. But in the retail world, people still want to go in and see exactly what the house looks like and everything like that, which is understandable. So I've done some deals where like investors haven't like come in the property. But I do want to get to a point where I don't have to physically be there to show any buyers.
Yeah.
Like, that would be amazing. So I mean, that's another story for another day. But anyways, this has been a really good interview. I did want to ask you, I guess, for just so we have kind of like two different audiences per se. Like, I definitely have an audience of like newer agents, but also like wholesalers that have been in the business. I feel like you more have an audience of people who are just coming into real estate. So I guess, what would you say is just like a general piece of advice to give new agents, or even agents that have been in the business who are trying to grow using YouTube, social media, and everything like that?
Yeah, so like I said, coming into the business, it's super tough. A lot of people have this stigma that like you come in, a couple weeks goes by, you get your first deal, and like the leads are handed to you, which is completely opposite. So like just don't get discouraged, just keep on pushing each day. Find what you like. Like, there's different lead generation strategies, try a couple out and then narrow down on the ones you like, and then just go all in with that, because then once you go all in with it, it's just going to help your business to grow. Before, I was cold calling, but I found social media and I loved it, and I still do love it, and just diving deeper with that, and that's just been helping my business to grow. So I would just say find what you like and go all in with it.
Yeah, I agree. I cold called for about 2 years, so I think I got my reps in.
Yeah.
I think I got my reps in. So now I'm just like, social media all in.
Yeah.
I like to tell people, like, if you're new and you want to get traffic right away, like, you probably want to do a little bit of both, like active prospecting, such as cold calling, and social media to start build up your presence. But I feel like after you cold call for a while, or you've done active prospecting, and then you start doing like social media, like the social media eventually starts to like take over.
Yeah.
And then you can direct more focus into that and kind of not fall off, but like, just take a little bit, do less of like active prospecting. So that's kind of been my experience. I know you have definitely, I mean, your social media accounts are like pretty big too. So I'm sure you've had the same experience.
Yeah, most definitely. And what I also did was open houses in the beginning. And I think those are great for new agents to do, because not only will it, give you some experience to talking with buyers, you kind of, learn different aspects of the business as well, walking through the home, knowing what to say. So I would say that, just helps with your communication skills. So definitely, start doing some open houses.
Yeah, open houses are definitely a good strategy. I didn't have the best experience with open houses, but I kind of knew that, like, I kind of felt like this was going to happen. I only did 2 open houses, and both of them were for other agents who did not promote the open houses. So they were both empty.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they were both empty. And I was just like, okay, well, did you like promote it? And they were just like, like, so if you don't promote the open house, you can't expect
to promote it. Yeah, you got to promote it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, okay, well, what type of promoting did you do? Like, So I don't know. My experience wasn't great, but I do think I only did 2. So obviously if I did more, I probably would have a different things to say about it. But I also do think it's another great way to just start to build some traffic in your business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's all the questions I have for today. Is there anything else that you want to leave the audience with?
Um, I
What's a
would
what's a mindset hack? Give them a mindset hack or something, because I know you talked about mindset.
Well, for me, let me just say like how I started waking up at 4:30. So like I said, it was tough. So I watched this one video by Brian Casella. He was like, you literally got to say it to yourself. Like, I'm going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to feel productive. I'm going to have that energy. And just telling yourself that, it's crazy the difference, but it truly makes a difference with your mind, and it happens. You know, you wake up at 4:30, you feel good. But just telling yourself that, make sure you are writing down what's that word called? Those
Affirmations?
affirmations. Yes, writing down affirmations. Those are huge as well, I would say.
Yeah. And I'll add to that is that you never regret waking up early. You always, not always, but sometimes you regret like waking up later. Like you'd be like, oh, I could have just woke up at like you ever had a day run like so long, and you're just like, if I just would have woke up an hour earlier, 30 minutes earlier, my day would have been completely different.
Yeah, I hate sleeping it. Like I get mad at myself some days when I sleep in because I
Yeah.
feel like I just wasted.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens to me sometimes too, where I'm just like, I could have just woke up and stopped being lazy, you know what I mean? But you learn to be better over time, so you can't really put yourself down too much. But that was a really good point. So I mean, that's pretty much all I have for today. I really appreciate you taking your time to hop on. I know as agents we're busy. I'm literally doing a buyer consultation right after this, and I'm gonna be doing showings all night. So I know we're both pretty busy. So again, thank you for hopping on, Stefanie. Where can the people find you?
Yeah, so my first and last name, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, literally all the same username, Stefanie Kebede.
Okay, and I'll link all her accounts down below, guys. That's all I have for today. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that like button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video. And drop a comment and let us know what you've learned from this interview and what you can take away. And yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.
See ya.